All right, good evening, everybody, and happy Saturday night. We are live talking about how hot it's been today, this week, this entire summer. It's been incredible. Feel free to comment down below if you have any questions on what to expect. Obviously, it's just going to be hot. But if, for example, you're traveling anywhere, if you're driving to Houston, Dallas, or flying out anywhere, feel free to comment down below, and we can talk about the weather elsewhere, away from San Antonio and away from Texas. Otherwise, we're talking about how hot it's been. And look at this. So we hit 104 today, which, by the way, tied a record. And that tied the record set back in the 1950s, I believe. But that was just a tied record. It didn't actually beat it. We hit 104 today, which, more importantly, marks another day at 100 plus in San Antonio. This marks 40 total days this year, mostly in the summertime, where we've hit 100 or hotter. Average, a normal summer or a normal year is 18 triple-digit days. Incredible. So it's supposed to be hot in the summer. It's supposed to be hot this time of year, but not this excessively hot. But with that being said, last year was very similar. Last year we hit a total of 58 days of 100 plus. Last year was pretty abnormal as well. It was the hottest June on record last year, hottest July on record last year, and it was second place in the amount of triple-digit days, 100 or hotter. So we're not near that, but we're getting near that, right? We're only about 18 days away from tying that record, and typically it's not until like late August, early September when these temperatures start to trend down, but we've hit 100 as late as September 28th. And that was like back in 2020 or 2021. So it's happened where we've been excessively hot in late September, which, by the way, that's typically when cold fronts start working through. So we're waiting for that. But again, it's not until late September, early October when these fronts start to move into the south central Texas region. Tomorrow is a yellow day, so conserve your energy use. Right now it is 97, feels like 99 at 9:11 p.m. tonight. Little breezy, but not much. It's not really windy outside. It's 11-mile-an-hour winds. Metro temperatures from 97 in San Antonio to 92 at Floresville, a pair of 9s in Castroville, Devine, Moore at 99 degrees, and 91 at Bandera. It's pretty hot. There's 100 on the map, and that's in Del Rio as of this hour. Elsewhere, it's mostly 90s, right? We have a couple of 80s near George West and Beeville and towards the coast. Victoria, Hallettsville at 89 degrees. Humidity is still high, so it still feels like 99 when you factor in the heat index or the high humidity values. So it's very humid outside, and not much is going to change. As you can see, this is a map showing our watches, our warnings, and tomorrow we have yet again another excessive heat warning in effect. Surrounding counties as well, also expanding out towards Del Rio. Heat advisories, bottom line, hot, humid, air temperatures around 103 to 106 in the San Antonio metro, with heat index values, or the humidity values, heat indices, I should say, on the 106 to 112 range. So humidity does that to you. It does that to our bodies, where when the humidity is so high and we're in the summer-like pattern, it's hard for our bodies to sweat. And sweating is a cooling process. So if we can't sweat, we can't cool off, which therefore creates the feels like temperature. It feels hotter than the actual air temperature. So tomorrow, excessively hot, more of the same. Tonight's forecast, that's a live shot outside, but you can't see anything. It's over at, I think that's Morgan's Wonderland Camp on the north side, but we'll change that camera later. Tonight's forecast, 80s pretty much. After 10 p.m., we're still in the 90s right now. It's extremely hot. And then we'll slip into the upper 70s by tomorrow morning, early Sunday. So here's the drought report. So the Panhandle of Texas towards Lubbock and Amarillo, they're doing pretty good. They've seen some pretty good rain, which, by the way, we'll take a look at radar in just a bit. But it shows you how bad it is. And if you're just joining us, I mean, the report from Thursday hasn't changed and fluctuated all that much from what it's been the last several months and several weeks. But you can see northern San Antonio towards Kerrville, the Hill Country, extreme to exceptional drought, the worst kind of category you can get in regarding drought conditions. Give me a second. This is going to update really quick. David, that's a pretty good one. Somebody sold my Microsoft Office, and they're going to pay. You have my word. That's a good one. David always comes with the jokes every night. Whether it's during the week or in the weekend, he's always bringing the jokes. Howdy, Natalie. From College Station, it is hot there too. Yeah, I almost went to College Station. I almost went to A&M after high school. That was a very interesting experience. I remember it was my senior year, and my dad brought me to College Station to check out the campus because I was debating on joining the Corps of Cadets, but ultimately did not make that decision. But College Station, that entire campus, that entire town, very fun. Definitely a good time. So yeah, howdy Natalie, hope you're having a wonderful night. It is hot everywhere, and anywhere you're in Texas. If you're from Arizona, I mean, it's extremely hot over there. They've seen temperatures above 110 consecutively pretty much all summer long. Okay, so back to radar and back to what we were talking about. So massive drought, extreme to exceptional in the San Antonio area. And then as I zoom out, some areas in North Texas, the Panhandle, are receiving some relief. It's kind of scattered everywhere from here to the southeast, Alabama, Mississippi, and towards Oklahoma. But you can see in the Panhandle, some of these storms are erupting and turning severe, has some severe properties to them, meaning where you see those yellow polygons, mainly farther north of Amarillo, those are representing severe warnings and also some rotation. If you look outside of Texas, kind of between New Mexico, Oklahoma, Colorado. I had to zoom out really quickly because I was like, where am I? That's where some of these storms are going severe. And that can typically happen in the summertime where you have these troughs and these large storm systems that move off the Rockies, and they can spin up very quickly and provide some mid to high level support for these thunder showers. Obviously, nowhere near us. We wish we could see some rain here in San Antonio, and even anywhere from Del Rio to Austin to Houston to Corpus Christi. We would all love to cash in on some kind of rain. But just to kind of give an overall view, it's really just farther in the Panhandle and even north of that into Amarillo and Oklahoma is where they're picking up on some rain returns at this hour. So that's the drought report. Tomorrow we also have a red flag warning in effect because of the drought, how dry the vegetation is. If you go to my front yard is just so crunchy. The grass just we water it once a week, due to water restrictions. But even that doesn't have a huge impact on our grass. And despite it once a week, it's still pretty bad. We usually hand water it more, but please, again, avoid any outdoor burning tomorrow because the vegetation, the grass, it's all very dry, and with a little breeze, embers can jump from spot to spot, and that can create fire spreading rapidly. So please avoid any outdoor burning tomorrow because fire conditions will be a little elevated according to the Weather Service and what we're seeing here at KENS 5 as well. Tomorrow's forecast, 100 degrees again tomorrow. And this is the most important part, as this pattern, which we'll show you aloft in a second, is just not loosening its grip. High pressure stays right overhead, and temperatures trend in that 104 to 106 area region, which is way above average. Average this time of year is 97. This is historically the hottest time of year. So our average highs only get up to 97, and we're hitting 104. 105, 106 in our metro, in our DMA, in our region. So that's almost 10 degrees above normal. So this is a heat wave, and it's almost like we've been underneath the influence of this heat wave the entire summer. It's incredible. And this is what I mean. A pattern aloft that does not fluctuate much. Yes, this heat high, has been kind of going back and forth between the desert Southwest, central and northern Mexico, Texas, Louisiana, but it's really been across our region from Nevada, Southern California to Texas to maybe the southeast towards Florida, where this high has been really dominant and just pushing down on our atmosphere and creating a lot of heat. So it hasn't really been changing much since pretty much the onset of summer, which was back in mid to late June. And with that overhead, doesn't do much for rain. Rain can't pop up. It acts as a cap of warm air aloft, and clouds can't rise above that warm air aloft. It needs cooler air aloft for thunderstorms to go up into the atmosphere and get stronger and to build in height in the vertical profile. So the rainfall forecast, it is grim, it is zero, it's pretty much zero, as you can see on this map between now and next Saturday. With that being said, areas in the Panhandle, Oklahoma, North Texas may receive over the next 10 days a tenth to a quarter, but it's not going to be a significant amount, especially when we're considering drought conditions across the area. Okay, the 7-day forecast shows very similar weather, even hotter some days more than others. Tomorrow, 104, 105 on Monday, even up to maybe 105 to 106 Wednesday and Thursday, depending on where exactly that heat high sets up shop over Texas, northern Mexico. The closer it is to us, the hotter we get, and it just doesn't mean good news in the weather department, unfortunately. So we'll leave this up for a little longer, guys. Hope you're having a wonderful night. Again, if you have any questions, let me know. If not, add me on social media, Twitter, or X, I guess I should say, Instagram, Facebook. Feel free to message me if you have any questions about traveling or if you're going anywhere. I know the Northeast has received a good amount of rain, a lot more than we have. So that's where the weather can be a little bit more active. From the Midwest to the Northeast, based on this pattern, it displaces these storm systems, and most of the rain during the summertime has been really shifted towards the north and northeast away from Texas. We're just underneath this very monotonous, sunny, clear weather pattern, which is great for summer, but after a while, our grass, our yards really start to feel it, and you can see it based on the drought report. So that's the forecast, 104 to 105 to 106 for the next 7 days here in the San Antonio area. If you're watching from anywhere across Texas, likely very similar. Like, for example, Natalie from College Station, I imagine your temperatures may be a little hotter just because you're farther inland. But probably in that 103 to 108 air temperature region for most regions across South and South Central Texas and even East Texas as well. So, yeah, thank you, Natalie. Hope you're having a wonderful night and hope you have a wonderful evening to everyone out there. If you're just joining in, that's the latest on the forecast. We are at 40 days of 100 degrees or hotter, and that is starting to near some all-time records. So. And with the next 7 days in the triple digits, we'll likely get closer to that all-time spot by the end of summer. Summer ends, I believe, September 23rd this year, but that's just a date, right? We can be as hot as 100 by late September. We'll see what happens and how it unfolds. But anyway, have a wonderful night. Have a great weekend. And aside from a light breeze here and there between now and next week, it is going to remain very, very hot. Drink plenty of water. Be safe. Find shade. Take breaks when you can. And have a wonderful rest of your weekend, y'all.